Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to start working, or we're going to do stage 110 of the Volkswagen Samba T1 from DeAgostini. And actually, this build is getting complicated. I'm having to have two benches set up, cameras set up on both of them, because putting parts together here, and rather than lugging the bus back and forth, I've set it up. It's on its side. Matter of fact, let me show you. It's over on the other bench on its side. I will move the camera around a little bit just so that we can get a better view inside the bus. I may actually change cameras on subsequent videos just to see which camera works better for it. So let me switch back. I'll get the parts open and we'll get started building. So get these open. Actually, I should have opened it this way instead because there's I didn't open anything. All I did was cut the top off. But there, what I was about to say is there's two packets actually in this, down in here. You've got the one with the tail light and a lot of little pieces here. This is where the build is going to get a little bit complicated because there are actually all the wiring coming up in the next couple of stages. So we got some BPO9s, some BDO8s, various pieces to brace things in place. We've got a hinge. The second door is going to go on. We've got the lens here, got some BPO4 screws, and the lights. So let me get stuff. Well, I can open the book at least. Let me look at this and figure out if I want to use a different camera or not, because I have cameras that I can set up on the other bench that might focus a little bit better. So I will be right back. Okay, so the first thing that it has you do is, let me turn the page. You're going to take this piece here, which is your light housing, and there are two chambers. If you look, there's a smaller one and a larger one. I just want to see, does it actually differentiate? Insert the LEDs in the holes. I'm just looking because it'd be really funny to have the reverse lights, go for the reverse lights and have the brake lights come on. So the red is going to go to the top, which is the larger chamber, and that is the one with the single LED. So here's the harness for the LEDs. This is actually a different setup. You got one with just the two leads, one with one lead on one side and two leads on the other, which actually does that. No, it's a three-wire. Okay, it's a three-wire system. The one with the single LED is going to go. It looks like it goes into the chamber that the red plastic's going to be over, and it looks like it should be the bottom one. It's very tight fit. Let me see. Next one, tail light lens. Carefully push them into place. So what I'm going to do is, instead of waiting to put the tail light lens in there, I am going to put the tail light lens in first, just so that I know which chamber is which. Like I said, it looks like the orange goes to the smaller chamber of the, well, I don't think I actually really showed what I mean. So you got the two sides of the light. This is the smaller side, larger. That's the larger side. If you look at the lens, you got the orange and the red being the larger piece. Plus there is a notch right here and a notch in the lens. So this should push in up here. The one thing that bothers me on this build is that we have not done a single light test. None of the wires have ever been checked out. None of the electrics, so the LEDs could be bad, Speaking of which, I've got a flickering light. I'm not sure why. They're all LEDs. So the one with multiple wires coming out of the LED with the multiple wires will go into the red chamber. That must be the brake light. Let's see if it, and it is a good solid fit. You need to be a little careful. It says it in the book, and it's just a thing that you have to be aware of. You have to be careful that you don't tweak the leads at all. So it's going to look like this. Like I said, the orange chamber has the LED that only has 2 wires running to it. The red chamber has the one with 3 wires running to it. And then what you're going to do after you put this together, you're going to, let me switch cameras, slide it in, and it goes to the, I'm having to rotate it around in my mind. It's going to go to this, oh, and make sure the orange is on the bottom. It's going to go through this side, come through here. I'm sorry if you can't see this, but it's going to line up on there. You just make sure. Yeah, side with the hinge here. Let me see if I can rotate that around a little bit so you can see the hinge here. The light is, there we go, snapped in. So it's pushed all the way in. Then you're going to take this piece here, and doesn't go either way up. It doesn't have a specific way to go left or right, but these arms are going to go down. You're going to put it between the LEDs, between the leads for the LEDs. That's what the narrow part is for. So the LEDs do not get tweaked at all. But you're going to put this in here, and you're going to turn it to where it is now, so it's flat in there. You can't really see it, but it's flat in there. Once I get this all attached and screwed down, I will move the camera I'll hold the camera in my hands, come over and show you what I'm talking about. And then we're going to take 2 different types of screws. We have BD08s, 2 BD08s, and 2 BP 09s are going to go in. The BD08s that are going into die cast are going to go on the outside. The BP 09s are going to go to the inside. So what we're doing is we're attaching the bracket, the support bracket, to the chassis or the frame of the car, or not even the chassis or frame, the body of the car. And then we're going to attach the light housing itself to the cross member there. So I've already dipped this screw in oil. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to get it started. If I can, it looks like it's popped off of there. All this while you're trying to not hurt the windows that the car is set laying on its side. That's not going. So let me get the other one. I'm not going to pull the screw out. I'm going to just see if I can get the other one and get it. If I can get either of them to line up, it should be good. And that one just fell. Okay. If I can get that one started, I can go back and get the other one started. That one's good. That one's started. And get this screw on back in on here. Let's see if I can get it started. And it is not wanting to start. I don't think. Maybe it did. It did start. Okay. So I've got one more BD08. That is going to be the spare. Now let me get the BP09 started in here. They're going to go, like I said, into the light housing itself. Come on. It's not catching. It's a little bit complicated the way they did this. It should work out okay if I can get everything to line up. Okay, that one's in. Is this chair as annoying to you as it is to me? Do you hear it? Okay, try this again. That one might, I think, feel like that one's caught. So let's crank this one down. Is it actually caught? Yeah, that one's going in. So we'll put this one in here. Tighten it all the way down. That was tight. We'll do this one. And it could have been because I felt it pop in when I first put the when I first put the light housing in there. I felt it pop into the body of the car, so I'm sure it would hold just like by that. Okay, so that's tight. It's very odd. The two on the top are acting like they're not going into anything. Okay, that one's good. Let's see about this one here going into the metal. Okay, that is tightening up. So here comes shaky cam. So you can see you've got a screw here, two into the housing comes through, and here's your wire for the power. Put this back over here because there's more to do inside the car. That's how that goes together. Then we have this part here, which is where the filler cap is going to go for the gas tank, and the filler cap is just a silver piece like that, and it should be it's oh, let me get to the better, go back to the better camera because this is actually pretty entertaining. So we have a square hole, and we have a round peg. So we don't have a round peg in a square hole, or we have a round peg in a square hole instead of a square peg in a round hole, but you have to push it in there. It feels like it's going to be pretty significant pressure to get it in there. I'm just making sure that it is not a square peg. Okay. So you push it in until it is flush in there. And like I said, you got a round peg and a square hole. Kind of funny. Then we're going to go back to the other camera over here. And this is going to be visible through our gas door in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this. You got two lugs here that are going to line up with this. You're going to put this onto the two lugs like that. And we're going to use, turn the page, place fuel cap post indicated, and use two BP04 screws. And there are 3 of them, so 1 spare. Or I could have just not opened the package at all and used ones that I've had before, because at this point I have several available or spare screws available. So we're going to put this in here, get that started. We're going to take the other one put it on the other side here. And make sure they're both tight. And then we're going to put the body of the car upside right. Let's see if I can rotate it around to where you can actually see that spot. Move the camera a little bit, and you can see when you open the gas door. There. Focus. It's a Logitech camera. It does not focus as well as the Canon that I have, but there's the gas cap we just did. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this window, and I'm just going to be very careful not to get a whole bunch of fingerprints on it instead of what I normally do, which is put on gloves. But we're going to take this window here, and we're going to put it in this section right here. It's a press fit, and it should just pop in place. Might want to, let me see. No, they show it going this way. So the upper tab, press the lower part of the window so it is flush, so it should pop like that. And there is the rear window in place. So let me take a look. And dopey me, I skipped over something I was supposed to do before I put that window in. Not a big deal. Let me put the car back on its side, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I took a minute to look at the instructions, and I caught something that they never tell you to do. And so if you build this model, you need to be aware of it, just in case. So on here, on the assembly diagram, it shows these two screws going in. What are they? They're 1014. So yeah, these two screws, 1014, going into the frame for the window. The only problem is, as you're going through, you install the light, you lock the light down, you put the gas cap together, or gas filler cap together, install it. You install some plastic parts, which I missed, which is why I went back. And it shows right here, those screws in. It never tells you to put those screws in. It tells you later on, hang on, let's see, at the bottom of the door frame, yeah. It never tells you to put those screws in. So I was sitting there looking for it because I usually, even though I mostly go by pictures, I do read the instructions a little bit. And I'm like, when is this get put in? And the answer to that is right now, even if they didn't tell you. So similar to other windows, this is just going to line up on here. There's two holes in here. And I'm just concentrating a little bit so I can get that first one in. Let me get this second one in. Then I'll lock them down. I should be able to latch the window shut at that point. And I'm sorry my arms are in the way, but it just, this is one of the first times I've found an error in one of their manuals that, and nothing tells you to ever do this, to ever put these screws in. And I actually have a PDF copy of the manual, and there's nothing there either, because the PDF is 12 books, And what they did was they divided the original 12 shipments into, I think it was 25 or something like that, or 24. I don't remember exactly the number of shipments, but they divided it up so that it was over a 2-year period. So now that's in there. I can now finally latch that window, and it is no longer flapping all over the place. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So right there is the window. Those are the, come on, those are the 2 screws I just put in. You see the window pops open, and then it's latched shut. To me, pretty ingenious design. So the next thing is that, let's see, the window latch onto the holes indicated. Place rear stop 10-11, 110-11, and the window latch 110-12 in the holes indicated so that they're located as shown in the picture. This is the rear seat stop. It's going to go into this hole right here, which is, you can't see. It's going to go, I'm going to put it in place. It is a D-shaped peg. It's going to just push in place like that. Still can't see it. This other one, let me make sure where it goes. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It is a detail part. D-shaped peg as well. It's going to go up here by the window. This is going to be a little bit tricky. I probably should have put it in place before I did the window hinge. Hopefully I can get it in there. If not, I'll pause the camera, get it in place, come back and show it to you. Let me get my tweezers. And put it in there. Come on, line up with that hole. Bounce all over the inside of the model. Come on. So I'm going to do this off camera, come back and show you what I actually had to do, what I did. I'll be right back. Oh, that was funny. I switched cameras instead of pausing cameras. I looked up and I was like, wait, wrong cameras are on. Did I record nothing? So now I'll be right back. Okay, got it started. What I used was a hemostat. Push that down in there. And so let me show you what we've got. So this is the window latch detail part, which is funny next to this big hinge, because you're not fooling anyone. This hinge is what holds the window, not that little latch. And this is what this seat back is going to push up against. I don't think the seats fold down, but we'll see later on. And so the next step is to roll the window back, or roll the band back over. The window's already in place. So we're going to pick up the band, swing it around, and I'm not sure I like the way that they're holding these doors in, because I believe, yeah, these doors are held in on the metal frame. I didn't even realize that was still not tied down. And this piece of tape is just to keep the front door from flapping all over the place. But the rear door is held on partially by the metal frame, and partially on the plastic of the interior. So we've got this hinge piece here that is going to go on here like this. It is going to match up with this one that's already here. So let me get 2 screws for that. And screws are going to go in. The key to this, the hinge. There. That little circle is going to be flat flush against the side of the van. So it's going to go in here like this. Might almost be easier to just lay it on its side, but that one's in. I thought. There it is. I did. I thought I had gotten 2 screws out and I couldn't find one of them. It was laying on the book. This one is going to go in here. Tighten them both down. And I think the best way to show this next bit is to move the van over to the other bench. And since it's going to be sitting on its, it's going to be sitting upright for this, I'm not going to move the pad. But we're going to move the van over here. Let's see. Just no good way to show this. That's a little bit better angle though. We're going to move the van over there like that. We're going to get this door from stage 78, which already has the hinge done. This is going to sit on here like this. Matter of fact, let's open that one. We'll set it in place. It's going to sit on here like that. Got to make sure that these hinges do line up completely. That's a little bit funky the way it is, but we'll make it work. Let me get the pins. We've seen these pins before. A little bit of a striation on it. We're going to very carefully lose them. Hopefully not going to lose them, but I'm going to line it up on the top here. See if I can, I've got it in there. And it pulled out when I touched it with my finger. Make sure I've got the striation on the right side. And the biggest part about this is getting the pin started through the second part of the hinge, which there it is in place now, so I can just push it down. It actually shifted the door out a little bit. Push it down, push it flush, and then do the same thing down here on the bottom with the second hinge pin. This one's probably going to be a little bit trickier. Actually, I think, no, it did not. I thought it had dropped right in place, but it didn't. It completely missed the bottom, or not the bottom, but the middle piece of the hinge. Come on. There we go. And you can see I pull on the door and it stays in place. So now we push this down in here. And the reason I'm pushing it down like that is so that it locks in place. And now this door works as well. I'm just curious. It does actually close. And then this one here will close as well. Probably close a little bit better once the chassis is underneath. I've got the doors closed now. Not completely. This one's still popping loose. And it will, there's got to be something that's going to hold this in place. I would hope. Might not be, but It'll pop in place like that, and it's now closed. So the next thing I've got to do is turn the van back over again. I want to see, that is just looking to see which one. Lastly, push the door strap holder through the. It's interesting that we don't have the other strap in place yet. So let me move the van, roll it over on its side. Watch the doors flop open while I'm trying to do this. Get the camera rearranged. Aim it down there. Okay. So this strap has not yet been connected. There must be something here that's still got to come in place so that that strap will then attach to something else. This strap, we take this piece right here, and it has 2 pins and 2 holes for screws. I'm just looking to make sure. I don't think it really matters which way it goes in there because it should fit either way, I think. Maybe slightly different. But we're going to then take that after we put it through the strap. We're going to take it, and we are going to set it in place there. Grab 2 of the last what are they? I think they are, BPO9 screws. We're going to attach start one, grab the second one, get the second one started, and we're just going to tie it down all the way. So that's it. That's now done and finished. And let me show you by putting the van upright again. You can see already the door swinging. But here is what this strap is for, so that when the door opens, you can see that strap stops it from slamming up against the side of the van. Similar to the doors in the front, they otherwise are far enough forward, the attachment point is far enough forward that they would flip all the way around and break headlights. So that is it for this video. I hope you're enjoying this build. I am having a blast. This is actually one of the most pleasurable part works I've ever done. Very little problems. I mean, the only real problem I've had was that window that up in the front that broke, and nothing I can do about it. Got a replacement part. Second one broke exactly the same way in the exact same spot. So I'm done with trying to get that fixed. It works the way it is, and I think it looks pretty good. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and close on the shot of the van rather than the shot of the bare table. Move it back a little bit, give you a little bit better look of what it looks like right now. It is really starting to look like a T1 Samba. So, like and subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified of it anytime I post new content. I know there was about a week hiatus a little while back. I did not have any parts to build, so I couldn't do any videos. Come on over to Hobby Time Modelers on Facebook, YouTube, and Discord. See what we're doing. Links will be in the description. We do a Friday night stream. We do a Sunday night or Sunday afternoon stream, and 6 of the guys are actually doing a group build on Wednesday evenings. Either 7 or it's going to start either 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern time. They're still working that out. They started the last one at 7. They're going back and forth because we've got people from the East Coast to the West Coast actually in this build. That's tune in. It's a lot of fun. What else? That's right. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you in the next video.